Welcome back to the channel, and thank you all for watching HCKT TV. Make sure you visit Everett, Kentucky. That's my hometown and the hometown of heroes. While you're visiting Everett, stay at Black Mountain Cabins and Campers, located there in Everett, Kentucky, just minutes from the trailhead. Also, while you're in Everett, eat at the Southern Belle Restaurant, located in downtown Everett. Also, if you support the channel, scan that QR code. Let's get started into this video. Thank you for watching.
That's all right for the council.
Just make a motion to add. What's the description?
Okay, I want to explain it first. Under the powers and the duties of the legislative body, KRS 83A.130, parentheses 9. This statute clearly envisions that a city council may hire its own employees to assist it and its individual members in performing its legislative, investigative, or other legal functions. If the council hires its own employees, it may do so in whatever manner it decides. So therefore, I would like to make a motion to hire an attorney to represent the city council.
Second on the motion.
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Ms. Little?
No.
Mr. Ortega?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Bench?
Yes.
Mr. Jervis? Ms. Green?
Yes, and I've got a second motion I'd like to share.
Okay.
I make a motion also that we create a committee for the hiring of an attorney, and I would like the three persons on that committee to be Stacy, Anthony, and myself to hire a city attorney.
Second on the motion.
Second.
Do your roll call.
Ms. Little?
No.
Mr. Ortega?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Bench?
Yes.
Mr. Jervis? Ms. Green?
I think
Yes.
Kent's gone.
Are you finished?
Yes.
Is anybody else? I've got two motions. If nobody else has anything.
What you want?
Okay, whatever you want to do. Okay. I'll start.
Yep.
Little?
Yes.
Mr. Ortega?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Bench?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Motion stands. We're going to give the public time to speak. You'll have 2 minutes. The clerk will keep time with that. A mic will be brought to your seat for you to be able to speak. Before we do that, I would like to make a statement to the public. My office is fully committed to the transparency regarding the recent events. As soon as this matter arose, the London City Police Department referred the investigation to the Kentucky State Police. In parallel, my office has initiated an administrative investigation. However, we cannot reach a conclusion until the Kentucky State Police have completed their inquiry. My heart goes out to all those that's involved in this case. My prayers have been with everyone during this time. Should any wrongdoing be identified, my office will take the appropriate actions in accordance with the findings. Thank you. Who would like to speak first within the public? Will the clerk keep time?
Hello?
Yes.
My biggest concern is, the Doug Harless, incident is horrible. Somebody wants to, point the finger. It shouldn't be happening, guys. I mean, any one of us out here is sitting in our house and the line up the wrong house and something that happens. I mean, there's no excuse for this complete negligence. I understand the investigation has to take place, but, I mean, we're not getting anything from the city, we're working on this, we're gonna implement these steps to, prevent this going forward. We're just sitting here right now, I think everybody's trying to point the finger and figure out, who's the scapegoat on this. I think everybody there at that house, that's the scapegoat. Point blank, the wrong house. The technology available today, you can find the right house, everybody.
I do believe that a lot of your questions will be answered when the state police is done with their investigation. It's not that my office or the PD is not wanting to address the public. We do. But under the express, authority of the KSP, they have asked us not to say anything regarding this investigation. It is an open investigation. That is the only reason we have not made any statements regarding this, because, again, they're investigating it. It's not that we're trying to cover up. It's not that we are trying not to be transparent. Again, when the findings are done with the KSP, I can assure you that anything that the findings are, if there's any wrongdoing, accountability will be there. The next, anybody else?
My question is, and I guess it's been well established that they had no body cams on. And from what I'm understanding, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, that this decision was made by the previous police chief. Is that correct? You guys know?
There was a directive that was sent out, correct?
Okay, well, since that time, and they said it was because they couldn't afford it. Now, that budget you just named off a minute ago says that they can probably afford it. Since that time, have any of you, the mayor, the new chief of police, looked into how we can figure out how we can afford it? Because, I mean, none of us know what really happened. All we have is what's gonna be said. And whether that's the truth or not, we don't know. And I can't take anybody's word for it. So have you guys, in any of that time, looked in to figure out how to get their body cams back? That's my question to you guys.
Every police force needs body cams.
So I can tell you on the body cams that when the directive was sent out, there was an analysis of cost that was supposed to have been done with the software. With the current project that we are working on in the city, that is part of us wanting to obtain those cameras again. It was never that we just did not want them. We've always tried to obtain grants to help with the cost. I know people saying it's $30,000 or $40,000. That's not really the case in this. So with the new project that we were working on, updating all the systems across the PD and throughout the city, it was a part of that project that we were working on.
Well, it's been a couple of years since they haven't been wearing body cams. So how long does it take to do a cost analysis? And there are counties and cities that have way less means than us that manage to figure out how to afford to wear body cams. Almost every city and county in the whole United States, I'm gonna guess. So I would suggest that would be something that you all put on your next thing, is how do we figure out how we get that back so that we can protect our citizens and our residents from their own law enforcement, so that things like this don't happen again. Accountability, that's what we need. All right, I think I've said enough.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I've got a question about the body cams. I mean, I know we didn't have any idea we wasn't using body cams. That happened while we were in office. Did that happen early on in 2023?
Yes, it did.
Okay, well, I know the council was not made aware of any of that. We didn't have them.
How long did we have them before that?
I'm not sure.
They were voted in it under Troy Rutter.
Does it require a monthly fee or something for body cams?
Yeah, it
I'm
does.
assuming it does, right? It's got some kind of cloud
The
storage or
software
something.
was the main concern. It wasn't downloading the images because it was outdated, because it was purchased in 2016.
So what happened to all that equipment when you quit using it? Just go to storage?
But it's probably in surplus, correct? It's not usable. Somebody else had a question in the back there?
Yes, my name is Susie Hillard, and just by telling you my name, I think that's something that council needs to adopt, that anyone who speaks publicly needs to be identified for the record, and as well as when someone is bringing other business before the council, that needs to be heard. You need to be able to hear that. Everybody in the room needs to be able to hear that, so that the public's business is actually done before the public. But I do have a question, and that is, are there any rules in place now regarding formation of the agenda? Do you have to, if you're a council member and you want to, add something to the agenda for the next meeting, do you have to provide that information in advance? Do you have to provide the pertinent information or the details about that information to council members in advance? Or is it just anybody can?
I think I know where you're going with this question, and we don't, it's called rules of order, and we don't have rules of order.
And why don't you have rules of order?
I'm working on it, but I attempted that a couple of years ago. I couldn't get any favor at the time, but I'd like to see us have some rules of order.
You absolutely need rules of order. I've never, ever, in my work, in the public and in the private, and in working on boards, worked where that body did not adopt Robert's Rules of Order, follow it, and enforce it. I've never heard of that. And I think that needs to be a first priority for this council. If you really want to work and do the work for the public and be transparent about things, you need to do that. That needs to be, and it's not that hard to do.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Fourth Amendment, I don't have to identify.
Is there anyone else there in the bank?
I have the right not to identify because of retaliation from this police force.
Mayor Whittle, my first question is for you, and I'd like to have this as a matter of record. Do you currently have any citizens blocked from your Facebook page? And I'm referring to your government mayor official page.
I know I do not block anybody from my mayor page. I do block them from my personal page.
Okay, with that, I'd like to hand to the city council. I'm not sure if this would be allowed or not. I have wrote to the city regarding this, and I kept getting, well, we don't keep a list of who's blocked. I'd like to be able to show you my phone. I'd like to pull up my Facebook page. I'd like to have you go to Mayor Whittle's page, see if I'm blocked. Guess it's one way to answer it in the spirit of transparency. The reason I say this is, it is a violation of a Supreme Court order. It was ruled on last year that no city government official can block citizens on any social media platform. So I asked the city council, can I show you my phone? Have you go to his page.
I say, come on.
Sure.
Okay, the next question I have, and then I'll end it. She had asked about the cameras a bit ago, and it was stated that those cameras a year or 2 years ago were discontinued. Who did that? Who signed that form that stopped it?
Activity log.
In March 15th of 2023 that effective immediately is a temporary suspending of the use of body cameras for cost.
Okay, so I would like to toss out something else that I want the city council maybe to look into.
Your time's up, ma'am.
Fair enough.
You can go
Next
to the
question.
activity log on his official
Can I see?
page and see the people that's been deleted. His activity log is public record, and also will show you who's over the account. The activity log, ma'am. I don't know who you are, but that's what you need to ask for. He has blocked several citizens. I'm working on a report of this tyrant. Right there. Guy right there's the tyrant.
So I'm gonna show you something else here. Because I don't want any loopholes in this. Sorry, I'm shaking. I am not.
Oh, I can understand.
We the people are tired of tyranny.
Mayor Randall Whittle, I request maybe in the spirit of transparency, would you let these guys see your phone and have them search my name to see if I'm blocked on your phone? In the spirit of transparency.
Yeah, I don't have access on my phone to my mayor page.
Okay, would you mind showing us your apps on your phone so we can verify whether you have that or not? In the spirit of transparency.
Yeah, I'm not gonna show you my phone.
You're not going to.
No.
Let me stop you a second. Are we still live?
Tyrant.
Just saying they're not seeing it. I don't know.
He doesn't live in the city limits. He lives
So I
in
want to show
Lily.
you guys something still in my same account. Blocking. You can look at the names.
These are people you blocked?
These are people I blocked. Because what I don't want said is that I had Mayor Randall Whittle blocked from my page. So therefore, when you searched it, it wasn't found. Feel free to flip through there because I'd certainly like this resolved.
Not on the list. Correct.
So what that means,
Oh, you're not on there.
he has me blocked. I don't have him blocked. But I want to show you something else. I have a secondary account. You can see, that's not me, not the same account you were just on. Mayor Randall Whittle. See how it came up?
Yeah.
So what you're
Thank you.
saying is that your personal one is blocked, but your made-up one is not.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And I am going to add to this. I asked him a question. I am always nice. I believe in being nice. I'm the one that put out that we pray for all of you guys. I was the one that put out that we pray for our law enforcement because that's the person I am.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I asked him a question he did not like a year ago. He blocked me. My daughter asked the same question. He blocked her. I'm going to throw out part of the reason everybody in this community is so angry right now has to do with stuff that's been going on, been allowed to go on, and now everybody is on a headhunt. Is what happened wrong? You bet it was wrong. Cops going to a wrong house is wrong. But you have a community full of anger because people that represent us are not representing us.
Thank you.
She just proved it without the activity log.
Question in the back?
Yes, I got a question for you and the council. Why is the city police patrolling and serving warrants in the county?
They're allowed to, actually.
Would council like to answer?
We don't know.
Imagine that.
The KRS allows the city police to work in the county. So this question
We
has
don't
been.
pay taxes for the county.
Well, let me put it like this. So let's say that you get in a fight with somebody, they live in the county. So you're telling me that the city police should not go out there and arrest that individual?
That's why we have a sheriff's department. That's why we have a sheriff's department.
So what you're suggesting is everything that occurs, we should hand over to the sheriff's department to handle.
That's their job. I have no confidence in him as mayor, and if I was on that city council, I'd make a motion to impeach him right now.
The KRS does allow them to go into the county. And the sheriff's job is to serve the court.
Earlier, you said there was still one member on that task force. Is that right?
That's correct.
Well, that wasn't what the agreement was. I have that memorandum right here. That memorandum was between the London Police Department agrees to cooperate in the Joint Drug Interdiction Investigative Task Force formed by the Laurel County Sheriff's Office. It has been widely reported, council members, that there were 9 officers at Lilly, 6 of whom were members of the London City Drug Task Force. You said there was 1 member on John Root's task force. Can you get John on the phone?
As to me,
Yeah.
I probably could.
It may take me more than 2 minutes. Can you all approve me additional time?
Yes.
I didn't ask you. Can you all approve me additional time?
Doug, I'm the proceeding officer of this.
Can you all approve me additional time?
We've given
Just
you-
do it with a motion. Just do it with a motion. Just do it with a motion. Just do it with a motion.
I didn't get an answer. Anybody else want to try?
I'm going to tell you something. What you say here is a part of an official record, Randall. And if the community, the media, the judicial system finds out that this was a rogue task force, never approved by this council, there's going to be hell to pay.
Your time is up.
Well,
And
Please
I will
take a
say that
seat.
I said earlier that I spoke to John Root earlier today. And he said that that the task force hadn't been used in a few months. That particular task force. I don't know if it had anything to do
I
with
too
that.
spoke with John Root today, and John did say, call him at any time if we need him to testify to that, but that there was no longer a county city task force.
so that means the task force you created no longer exists. So who was the task force out there that night? Folks, I'll tell you. We're going to find out how transparency this city is. You can bet on that.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
That's what
I haven't talked to him in 3 years. We've had our differences too. I
Doug,
just wanted to make
your
that part
time
of
is
the public
up.
record. I appreciate the opportunity to speak.
Brian, if you could get the mic. Anyone else?
Got one over here.
Yeah, they got
Brian?
one back here too.
Oh, we got one back there.
Lights off. I don't know.
I want to speak to everyone here. If you're in your bed asleep, you're not a criminal. Someone comes knocking at your door, and if you had a gun, even if somebody says they're the cops, do you really think it's the cops? Because you're not a criminal. And you live in a kind of shady neighborhood, so anybody could say they're the cops because there's a lot of dope heads out there. So, I have dope heads beside of me, and they would do that type of stuff. So, this man was a really great man in the bed at 10 o'clock. he gets a knock on the door, and really a knock on the door, and then just gets shot. If that was you, would you get up with a gun?
Yeah, I'm sure it would. Yeah.
So every one of us would get shot. And by city police that have no business in the county. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? We have a person on the front here, Brian.
I just have one question, I think one. When the report comes out, the final report, the review of all of this, will we find out every single person who was there that night? Because when you look at the film, there are people who aren't armed. I mean, I want to know, were there people who, and it doesn't matter if they work for another government entity or anything. I want to know if there are people who were not part of the police department, who were on that raid. Specifically, there was one who came like from the back, took over at the front. He was obviously exerting a seniority of some sort because all the officers stepped aside and let him pass and take point. So I would like to know who that person is, and and it's nothing vindictive or anything toward the people who were there. I would just like to know who was performing this, and if there were people who were not officers who were involved.
Yeah, I'm sure when the state police gets done with their investigation, they'll have a detailed report of who all was there. Absolutely.
Yes, why is it necessary to go of a night to look for a weed eater? That is a couple $100.
That's a part of the investigation that we cannot comment on at this time.
But not of a day? I mean, they couldn't make it of a day where people, I mean, I could see if it was somebody hurting somebody or, fighting or something like that, but not over a weed eater.
Yeah, that's part of the investigation, and
Not over a lawnmower, as far as that goes. Because all this can be bought, he can be bought back, insurance can cover it or whatever, but the man's life can't be. It's sad. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
I actually covered that in the KRS law. Nonviolent warrants supposed to be served at 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. In the first 15-minute video I did.
I just got one question, Mayor. Was the warrant that was served a no-knock warrant?
That I don't know, and it's part of the investigation. We'll have to wait and see when this KSP gets done. Thank you. Anyone else?
Hi, my name's Michael Smith. I'm a property owner here in Laurel County. We've owned property for the last almost 32 years. We're taxpayers, just like the mayor is, just like most of you here in the city. We do not live in the city, just like the mayor does not live in the city. So for the council members, do you have the backbone to step up and a mayor that doesn't represent this city, remove him? So just like the gentleman said back here, he has a nice house over here, but he lives by the landfill in Lillies, where he lives, by the junk that's hauled away. So as a council, are you willing to step up and do something? And I'm very angry right now about this. So you need to do your job. I'm glad you're getting an attorney to support you, but you need to do your job, and that includes you, Miss Little.
Anybody else? Is there anybody else that would like to speak? All right, that'll close out the public.
We got one more.
First of all, I'd like to say if there's anyone from the Doug Harless family, my condolences. We should not be here tonight. Do you consider a Facebook post, an opinion, interference with the criminal investigation?
Who is that question to?
You basically.
Yeah, so
How does that interfere with the Kentucky State Police?
I think that when the public's asking us for more information and when we cannot comment on the investigation itself, so even alluding to the investigation could interfere with it. So
How?
giving out details of the investigation.
But you were saying in Facebook post that you had made towards me that I was interfering just by asking, where's the condolences? Can't someone say something? Is that me interfering with the state police investigation?
No, I don't think that comment like that would be interfering with the
Okay, I think you need to be removed from Facebook. Plus, as in your Facebook post to me, you brought my boss, her business, into your comment, which was tied to the Phelps family. And you were just, it seems like you were just looking, you used me to draw her who has never said one single word about you. You brought her business into your little Facebook post. It's like no one can say anything without you getting mad.
Yeah, I don't get mad, so that's not ever happened.
Well, then it's petty. Okay, let's call it petty. Your pettiness, instead of you being mad, your pettiness is beyond anything I've ever seen.
Okay.
Okay, that's my answer. All right. Anything else, Jonna, you want me to? Okay.
I actually thought the post was about my mom, and that's why I'm here. She's like one of the best people ever, and I take human life very seriously. I've been through a lot this year, and you know, the fact that someone died, it's bothered me to the point of, I mean, just it's disturbed me because I watched the video, and I've never been like afraid of anything. Like here, I love this town, and I respect our mayor, and I would never speak illy of anyone. I shared a post, so I actually thought this comment was directed at my mother, because I had shared one little post. I didn't even say anything, and it is so disturbing to me. And I would really like to show you guys this so I don't have to read it out loud. What this was said about my mom's business. I work with children. I can't control what everyone in our family does, but this is a tragedy that's happened in our community. This man's life is why we're here. It's not about State Farm engaging in hurting criminal investigations and waiting for facts and pedo clan fact, like about with my mom's business in this. I just really need you guys to see this.
I already saw it.
Somebody else can talk, but I just am here to
He has
defend not
ruined
only
several
the poor man that was
businesses
slaughtered in his
in
home,
the
but
city
my
of
mother,
London.
who is a wonderful working person in London, Kentucky.
Extreme mudding, ruined their business.
Okay. I'm just going to read the second paragraph because it's so ridiculous and that it's so hurtful. And I would never do this. I'm like right now, I feel really weird even being in front of you guys, but this is like God speaking through me. This is for my mom. The second part says State Farm should be concerned about brokers engaging in criminal investigations. So I thought he was talking about me for sharing a post. While I love State Farm Insurance, who cares? And one of its brokers, well, it says one of its brokers and her family need to be held accountable for the rumor mill and the lives it's affecting. Guys, I shared a post. I would never speak illy or even like posts that my family shares that I think are tagging people's names. I don't like that. That's not cool. You don't behave like that. We're a community. Somebody lost their life, and someone is saying they have no respect for Doug Harless or his family. We wait for facts, no pedo clan facts. I work with children in this community. My heart is with my kids that I work with. That's my life. For that to be in the same paragraph is unacceptable, people, and I cannot believe it. It's heartbreaking.
What she read was comments from the tyrant mayor.
Anyone else at this point?
In that code of conduct manual for all probably county and city employees, is there a clause which says unbecoming, behavior unbecoming for employees?
Probably. It's a pretty big manual for the city book. I've not read the entire manual, but I'm sure there's a clause in there that says something like that.
So I'm gonna ask the city council, please look into that. I'm sure you guys are seeing across social media behavior that's very unbecoming.
Oh, yes, we have, for sure.
That then falls on the city council's hands.
Been a part of it.
And again, it goes back
me
to
too.
a vote of no confidence. I think your city is speaking to you.
You have.
Excuse me, I would like to say on behalf of the council that we know and have known as much as you all know that's sitting back there tonight. We have not been informed of anything to do with this situation. I know a lot of posts I was reading has mentioned the council and why the council isn't doing anything and stuff. We didn't know a lot of the details. We should have been called in very first thing, told about this, told the seriousness of it, and how to approach the situation going forward, but that didn't happen. So, as one council, I would like to say I'm sorry that a lot of that happened, but we were not aware of anything that went on.
Can we ask why? Can we ask that question?
There.
Well,
Possibly never. Facebook. We're limited. We are in the mayor council's duty. We prepare the budget. We prepare ordinances, and the mayor runs the day-to-day operations. There's three different kinds of government in cities, and that's the type we choose, which limits our power in that area. As you see me making a minute to the budget, because I did everything I could with that. The city does. Well, we adopted the policy and procedure, but it was before us. But we have one in place.
I think that definitely is looked at when you're serving a search warrant at 10:30, midnight, whatever, in the dark. What's it say to search? Explain to me what you're gonna find in the middle of the dark. You can have the best flashlight that probably costs the department $500. You won't put a body camera on somebody.
I agree.
yeah, I agree too.
Mayor, I'm gonna. I know it's in our right to do so, and I have not done so in open records request. I did an open records request, and I didn't get anything. I didn't expect to get anything, because it's been sent to the KSP, and I understood that. But I had to ask, officially, and they responded as they should. But I will ask that, I think it's our right to do so, that we get a written statement from the chief of police and assistant chief of police with something regarding this night. I did attempt to call them. They didn't answer me. And I understand that they answer to you. They don't answer to me. I understand that they didn't have to answer the phone and probably shouldn't have. And I'm going to request that. And I'm going to make
It's
a
an
motion.
open investigation and they can't say anything.
Well, they can make some statement to me. They can say I can't tell you nothing. That's better than nothing.
Well,
I'll take that.
all I can say is we found out by either Facebook or the news, and we should have found out differently than that.
How you feel about all the stuff on social media? This has gone out of control. I mean, it's all over TikTok, YouTube. Way more people see this. We all talk about people with jackass stuff.
We've got the same emails that, you know, people not knowing that we're the legislative body and that's the executive body. We've received the same threatening emails, name calling, people from out of state calling us names. I could
defend you on that. No, nobody wants to deal with this. I mean, you're taking licks all night. But again, I think there needs to be some transparency. I know, I'm used to hearing it's an ongoing investigation. I mean, I've heard it all the time with, you know, the White House. So, I mean, all those news.
I will say this, though. Mr. Benz was reached out to day 2. Anthony Ortega on day 2. Once KSP said what we could say to the body, I reached out to Anthony Ortega, spoke to him. I cannot speak to more than 4 council members outside of a meeting, or it creates a quorum. Right. So I did speak to some of the council members to make them aware of the situation. So it wasn't totally blind, or council was not made aware. I did it within the legal ramifications that I could.
And that's fine, but you need to let us know. Say, hey, everybody, we talked to the council.
That is incorrect.
Well, that's how we did it before. Before this happened, you had called us before about other things.
I keep it to a 3-person limit.
Well, that don't sound too good coming from the mayor.
That is KRS. It has not nothing to do with city policy. Under the KRS, you're not allowed to contact 4 people about the same subject because it creates a quorum outside of the public meeting. Look it up. That's facts.
I've got a question. We got somebody from KLC here tonight.
Go all the way down
Well,
here.
how factual is that, sir? Can you make a statement about that?
It's not the way it was explained to us.
Well, about him calling us and, you know, telling us about something going on. Not like we're going to make a decision about something, but just, you know, hey, there's been an incident happened or whatever.
We recently just had a training with JD who encouraged us to talk to one another.
I
We
don't
just
know.
don't make decisions.
He is correct about the quorum. If he speaks on one topic to more than 3 individuals, I believe, then it does violate the Open Meetings Act, because those conversations are to be had at a public forum. So that part of it is true. Now, whether or not someone can inform you or update you all on the circumstances of an event, that I can't speak to as being a public meeting, so
So
to speak.
he can't send out an email to 6 people and say, please do not respond?
I think those correspondence
We've been
cover
told
that
that
too.
you could by your organization.
Yeah, KLC says that you can do that, but they
Well, then
said
why in the hell didn't you do that?
there's a gray area. There's a gray area
We
with
don't
it.
need to be trained with you guys. Maybe we need to go somewhere else.
So that'd be closing out the public forum. I need a motion to dismiss.
I just have one quick thing. I got a message. I know that the body cams were stopped being used in 2023 because of cost. Does the city own the cameras that are going up on Main Street on the buildings?
Yes, they do.
Okay. Do you know when those were purchased?
Do what now?
Do you know when those were purchased?
When they were purchased?
Yes, sir.
October last year.
Who purchased them?
Yeah, I don't think we approved anything like that. I'm sure that's over the $40,000 limit, if I was just guessing.
They wasn't over the $40,000 limit.
Who purchased them?
That's part of the PD surplus. The cameras that is purchased that everybody's in question, the city has been having a lot of massive events. Tourism's been doing a fantastic job about bringing more people into the community. Those cameras are being used to help with that. As more people come into the public, they want to be able to view and watch in case the event, something goes awry, that they can particularly watch for individuals that may be going to do something. No, you can't view. No, a body camera.
I say get the cameras off the buildings and put them on the cops.
That's right. I agree with that.
Well, that's not really used for the recording aspect of it. The event response team watches individuals during the events for mass shootings and things of that nature.
Hold on, sir. Yeah. Wait. Let's get the microphone. We want to hear everything you got to say.
Mike Smith again, a taxpayer. I took pictures of the camera at the courthouse in 5th Street. Within 2 minutes, there was a city policeman behind me, following me, and they got right on top of me so they could read my license plate. Are those cameras monitored live?
No, they're not. Only during events.
Are those cameras, are they recording right now?
Yes, they would be recording now.
And
Doug, he's speaking right now. Please take a seat. Doug, please take a seat. Doug, please take a seat.
Just wait. You're talking a minute.
Just 2 more questions. Do you use facial recognition with those cameras?
They do have the ability to do that.
Do you do it? Do you use it?
No.
Are those stored, is that data stored securely in a cloud, or is that data stored locally in London?
Good question, but I don't think that they actually are using that. I'd have to find that out. I don't think that they're putting anything in that system, but I can ask.
Because here's my concern. Those cameras, I researched the cameras. Those cameras do facial recognition. So if any of us, if anybody wants to target any of us, they can, and then they can track us wherever we go, from camera to camera, to location to location. But then those cameras also have license plate readers. So then we can drive down the street and you can track us wherever we go. So that data then becomes my personal data. I understand I'm in the city and I have no right of
Expectation of privacy.
privacy. But when you store my face and you can track me wherever I go, then I think that's a violation of Kentucky law. So I would like to know, if you can get back with us, are you using it as facial recognition? Are you using it as license plate readers? Where is the data stored at? And how do we know our data is secure? Are the systems NIST 800-53 compliant? Are the systems fully secure? FISMA, if you want to know what those are, I can tell you. But is our data secure? Because if you're storing my data, I don't give you right to store my data. I understand in public, you can take a picture of me. But if you're misusing that data, that's wrong and a violation of KRS code.
Okay, thank you. They absolutely would not.
City Council, I'm not sure if you can answer this or not, but I know that doing bonuses for, like, say, the police department or whatever is not authorized. They can't do bonuses. So if they had decided not to do a bonus but wanted to go ahead and give employees at the police department a raise for a week, a substantial raise for a week, change their hourly rate to call that a bonus, would that be something that has to be authorized through you guys?
I think once that we set the budget for that department, then that wouldn't be authorized. But every little thing they change within the budget, under the police department, fire department, we don't control that.